Yo, what's going on, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to give you guys a pro guide on the Stun King Buzz. Now, Buzz is a high pressure tank as well as an assassin hybrid with an insane map control and strong anti-aggression tools. His super, Lifeguard's Whistle, is his bread and butter, letting him stun enemies from a distance and initiate fights with control. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys the full overview, guide, tips and tricks, every single thing you need to go pro and beyond. I really felt like Buzz Lightyear here, but to go pro and beyond in Buzz. Okay, pause. With Buzz. Now, one of his core strengths is his fast super charge from passive enemy proximity. Now, this is kind of a strength and a weakness. Having your super charge because of your enemies staying in the range of your super is good, because that means you get your super. However, your enemies aren't stupid. Although they can't see the circle, they know you're going to be charging your super. So what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that they stay as far away as possible, but be able to shoot you in order to make sure that you don't get your super and they're able to deal damage on you. Some brawlers that are good at doing this are Piper, Crow, and basically long range brawlers. Long range brawlers, what they do is they will maximize the distance between you and them, because you're Buzz and they're obviously at long range. They're not going to want you to be coming close, okay? So what you want to do is make sure you're closing the distance on them, and I wouldn't say aggressively go up to them and just beam them down, because that's not going to work. What you want to do is be slow and steady, all right? There's a saying, slow and steady wins the race. Okay, I don't want to sound like Unk right now, but I kind of have to. And it's true, slow and steady does win the race, okay? Because if you slowly go up to the enemy, you'll be able to make it. But wait, I don't mean walk in slow motion. I mean use the map to your advantage. Normally, you're going to want to be playing Buzz in a closed map. This means you can use walls, objects and things to navigate around the map, and this will help you close the distance between you and your enemy. You want to think of positioning. Positioning is the best thing, and you want to use that as well. I wouldn't say use the map and straight away go up to your enemy. Use the map and slowly charge your super over time, and once you've gone your super, don't just charge in. Make sure the enemy hasn't got any sort of escape and they are closed in. And one also major thing I want to make sure is when you use your super, aim your super for a wall and not to the enemy, because if you aim your super at the enemy, there is a high chance the enemy can dodge your super and your super will just be cancelled. However, if you aim for the wall, then your super will not be cancelled, and either way you'll hit the wall and maybe even get the stun as well. This can put lots of pressure on squishy brawlers, and it's really good, guys. So make sure you guys are listening to. So those were his strengths and his weaknesses. If you guys want a summary of that, his core strengths are fast supercharge, game-changing stun, massive kill pressure, and he's also a tank, so it gives him high HP. His weaknesses are weak at long range. It requires precise timing and super aim and positioning. Now here are the best builds. We're talking about star powers and gadgets. He has 2 star powers, one called Tougher Torpedo and 2 called Eye Sharp. Which one do you want to always be using? Now, making sure you put the right star power and the right gadget is essential, because both of them cost. Gadgets cost 1,000 coins and star powers cost 2,000 coins. So either way, they are both expensive, and if you make the wrong decision, you're going to have to end up buying both. Now, if you want the best out of all of them, you want to make sure you're using Tougher Torpedo as your star power. This is a very, very common meta pick, and what the Tougher Torpedo does is it reduces enemy stun resistance, and each hit extends stun duration. Absolutely vital in high skill lobbies where chaining kills matters a lot. Now, I would use this if you're not new to Buzz, use this one. However, if you are new to Buzz, I recommend you use Eye Sharp. The only reason I didn't say buy it is because it's kind of situational. You won't always have to use Eye Sharp, especially when you're playing on maps that don't have a lot of things that you need to look out for. What Eye Sharp does is it increases supercharge radius. This is great for zoning in passive or bushy maps, but lower value in fast-paced game modes. That's what I mean, guys. If you're playing a very, very bushy map, then make sure you're always using Eye Sharp. However, if you're playing a game like Brawl Ball or Gem Grab, where you need to stun your enemies for a longer time, use Tougher Torpedo. Tougher Torpedo, if you guys don't understand what the meta means, it's just it's another word for pro players. The pro players use Tougher Torpedo. Okay, guys, meta does not mean pro players. Don't get me wrong. It does not mean pro players. But just for the sake of this video being simpler, it means what the pro players use, okay? So whenever I refer to a meta pick, it's what the pros are using. However, if you're new to Buzz, you want to make sure you're using Eye Sharp. I use Eye Sharp. I never use 12 for Torpedo because Eye Sharp, I get more value out of that, not even on the game mode. It literally, whatever game mode I play, I use Eye Sharp. I highly recommend you buy Eye Sharp and not Tough for Torpedo, but if you want to do what, you can do the analyzing of yourself. I'm just going to stay with Eye Sharp. For the gadgets, we have Reserve Boy and X-Ray Shades. Now, Reserve Boy is a meta gadget, so this is what all the pros are using, and what this does is it instantly charges your super. Now, this is very, very good if you combo it with Tough or Torpedo, because it will help you get double stuns, and you can use this for fast dives or escapes. The second one is X-Ray Shades, and this is kind of a niche one because what it does, it reveals bushes for 12 seconds. You want to make sure you're using these maps on bushy maps like Snake Parade, Feast or Famine, or Cavern Churn. This gadget is good for control. It gives your team a lot of control, and I highly recommend you buy this gadget. However, this is a situational gadget, which means you won't always need to use this gadget. If you're playing Buzz on a map like Double Trouble or just an open map, you're not going to need this gadget at all because there aren't any bushes for you to even get value out of this gadget. But it is really good for solo showdown. So I would say the star power you always want to be using is Reserve Boy. Now the reason for this is because later in this video, I'm going to be revealing so many tricks. So make sure you stick to the end of this video because I'm going to be showing you guys so many tricks with this gadget and with Buzz, okay? And that is why I want to make sure you guys are buying Reserve Boy and not X-Ray Shades. Only buy X-Ray Shades if you know you're going to play Buzz for solo showdown and if you're going to be playing Buzz on a bushy map. Now, time for the game modes and strategies. Let's hop into Gem Grab. Gem Grab, I'm going to say Buzz is an S tier. Buzz is an elite gem carrier, disruptor, or mid-tank. He can literally play all three roles, either disruptor, mid-tank, or gem carrier. The reason why he's such a good gem carrier, and a lot of you guys will disagree with me, but it's because he can easily escape and also collect gems. With Reserve Boy, he can easily dash out when he's got the gems, and he can easily stun enemies who have the gems and take the gems from them. Now, one thing I would recommend you do is hold your super until enemy gem carrier exposes themselves and then go in, stun them, take the thing, and go. Now, he's also very good at map control, so make sure you are doing absolutely amazing. One tip for Gem Grab is keep poking in and out of the stun radius to charge your super safely while dodging enemies and close that distance. For Brawl Ball, boy, you're cooking. Whoever told you to play Buzz on Brawl Ball, which is me, they are a genius. Wow, thank you, you're so kind. Anyways, Buzz is incredible in tight maps. You want to make sure that you're using Reserve Boy and your super for kickoff goals or defensive saves. Now, one key strategy I'm going to tell you right now, and shh, don't tell anybody else because this is going to put you ahead of a lot of guys when you're competing for... Okay, I'm sorry. This is going to keep you ahead of a lot of Buzzes. There we are. Let's keep it family friendly. This is going to keep you ahead of a lot of Buzzes when playing Brawl Ball because not a lot of Buzzes know this strategy. But you can get 2 supers for insane mobility. What you want to do is throw the ball, super onto an enemy, and then instantly activate your gadget, which gives you another super, and with that super you can use that to throw the ball wherever you want. A lot of the times it's going to be really useful. Sometimes it will fail. It's going to take a lot of time to get used to though, and it kind of requires 0 ping as well. But even if you haven't got 0 ping, you can just activate your gadget whilst the enemy is stunned, so it's not really that deep. Now, for other game modes like Knockout and Hot Zone, I'm going to put him in the A tier. He's not the best, however, he is good at disrupting others. For Heist, I'm going to put him, definitely do not play Heist, please. Let's just not even talk about Heist. Let's just move on. Solo Showdown, I'm going to put him a B or A tier. He's very good, but the meta, especially in EU and USA, is really tough and they really hate Buzz. So I wouldn't recommend playing Buzz on Solo Showdown. If you're playing a Duo Showdown, that's completely fine. But Solo Showdown, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're playing with bushy maps only and below 1000 trophies. If you're going to get Buzz to max tier, Solo Showdown is by far the easiest one to play. But above 1k trophies, it gets a little bit tough. It gets a little bit hard. You know what else is hard? Haha, you're so funny. Okay, you want to make sure that you're reserving your super for stuns, not escapes. Use your gadget for escapes, which is the instant super gadget if you're playing Solo Showdown. But as I said before, you're mostly going to be playing bushy maps, so you're going to be using the see-through gadget. So I wouldn't really recommend Buzz on an open map unless you're advanced with Buzz like me, because I'm playing Buzz on Double Trouble. Now, some super mechanics and pro combos. You want to make sure that you're using the double stun combo, as I said before. Activate Reserve Boy, then super, auto attack, stun, and kill. Now, he can be really, really good, and here are some pro tips for Buzz Here are some pro tips, as well as some super mechanics, as well as some pro combos. Now, charge off tanks and kill swishies. Don't waste your super on Frank. Frank is a tough brawler to chip down, especially when at full health. So what you want to do instead is farm your super off the Frank and then use your super to kill squishy brawlers like Squeak. Basically brawlers who don't have a lot of health. These fall into the throwers and squishy brawlers like Squeak, Sprout, Ruffs. All these brawlers don't have much health, and you can easily kill these brawlers with your super. Always super with cover behind you. If the dive fails, escape with terrain. You never want to super onto an opponent that's open. Make sure that there is some sort of terrain. That way, even if you get burst down, you'll be able to escape easily. That is the key. That is genuinely the key, okay? Ladder is really, really tough, but if you pair Buzz with a good team like Maisie, Ruffs, Griff, Gus, these are gonna help you guys a lot, especially in area control and support. I recommend that you play Buzz because Buzz is a tank and an assassin. You don't really need another assassin. Neither do you need another tank. So I would recommend Buzz, Ruffs, and Maisie. That is the best combo to go with Buzz, and I highly recommend that you check it out, guys. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. My final words are: Buzz is a high risk and high reward brawler, a true pro brawler. And you guys need to understand that Buzz does require some sort of skill. A lot of people will tell you guys Buzz doesn't require skill. It's because they suck. I'm joking. But yeah, I want to make sure you guys do practice super range judgment, cancel mechanics, and double stun combos. These will help you climb up the ranks effectively. If you guys want help, join my Discord server, because that's literally where I got this video from. Some guy on my Discord server kindly requested this video, so this video is now out. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope y'all guys benefit from this video. Subscribe.